Hey, what's up, y'all? I didn't plan on doing this video. I just wanted to get on here and rap real quick. One of our rock and rad stars tagged me in a post, and the title of this post is "Growing Vegetables in Your Own Yard Now Confirmed as a Criminal Offense by Florida Courts. Insanity is now law." So basically, this couple, I believe they were, in their 60s. Decided to grow a garden in their front yard, and they were told that that was against the HOA and that they had to dig up their vegetable garden because the sun they didn't have enough sun coverage in their backyard. So they said, hey, let's let's grow some tomatoes and eggplants in the front yard. Well, it was prosperous and it was growing, and then they were told, well, it's against the HOA, so they had to dig up their garden, and the 3rd District Court said that the HOA had the right to do that, and it really caught my attention because, I'm growing a garden here, and the more you learn and stuff, it's like the more government wants control. It's like, they know that fruits and vegetables are delicious and healthy, but yet they buddy up with Big Pharma, and they just want to, vaccine you and pill you up, right? And eat all these processed sugars and processed foods, and they don't want you to grow, real life living food. And so I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to read this real quick. So basically, the title is "Growing Vegetables in Your Own Yard Now Confirmed as a Criminal Offense by Florida Courts." And I moved to Clearwater, Florida back in October. So I live in Florida, and I have a vegetable garden right here. I want to grow 2 more, and I was thinking about doing it in the front yard. We don't have an HOA here, but still, I mean, look at all, from Arizona. I was born and raised in Arizona, and you would never see a vegetable garden or a fruit garden, right, in the front yard. But it makes so much sense. It's like, why are all these golf courses allowed to, spend all this money, and all this water, so people can go hit a ball, but yet you can't grow, a delicious garden in your front yard? It's like so much wasted space. I truly believe that we should all have robust, beautiful rainbow gardens all around our house, 360 degrees. And so this caught my attention. So it says, "It's a sad day in Florida. Property rights for homeowners have taken a huge blow as courts confirm that growing edible plants in your own front yard is in fact a crime." Out of all the terrible things a person can do these days, gardening is the last thing that you may have suspected would become a punishable offense. Right? So I believe that they're getting fined. They can't go to jail, but I believe the city or the state or the HOA is actually fining them $50 a day. $50 a day because they were growing a garden in their front yard. Makes no sense. It's about control. It's about control. Do you know how beautiful my kale looks? My Russian purple kale looks. It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful plant. Do you know how beautiful my little jalapeno peppers look, right? Or my green tomatoes? They look awesome. They look beautiful, right? So it says, let's see, "To no one's surprise, big government continues to use strong-arm tactics against innocent people looking to engage in basic self-sufficiency." That's the same thing when you want to get off the grid. If you want to drill a well, you need a permit, right? If you want to get solar panels, right, there's so much red tape. It's like big government, or government in general, they don't want you to be self-sufficient. They want their hand in that cookie jar, right? And if you guys watch me in 2016 or in 2018, the blockchain, I keep talking about the blockchain. That's what Bitcoin is on. It's basically a ledger, right? And in my opinion, it's going to take out the real estate agency, real estate business, the lawyer business, the banking industry, right? The people need the power. We don't need government bureaucracy telling us, hey, you can't grow tomatoes in your front yard, or we're going to charge you a $37 fee to bank with us. There's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to be lost with technology, but I believe that the more technology and the more awareness people have, and the more possibilities there are for humankind, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep rapping about this. This just is really bothering me. So it began back in 2013. This display of obvious government overreach first began in 2013 when Hermine Ricketts and her husband Tom Carroll were faced with fines up to $50 a day for the crime of growing edible plants like tomatoes and Asian cabbage in their front yard. This is blowing my mind. So it says, after city ordinance was changed, while they didn't face any jail time, the couple had to dig up their prosperous garden. Due to the north-facing backyard that gets little sun, they've not been able to resume gardening. So look, seeds, right? You buy a celery, you've got celery seed, right? Cantaloupe, you've got cantaloupe seed. So it's free, and it's the most delicious, most healthy food is fruits and vegetables, but yet they're telling you you can't grow it on your land. It makes no sense because they want you to go to the grocery store, buy the packaged products, buy all the markup. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then when you do that, you're not going to be healthy. You're going to get disease, and then you got to go get, you know, all the prescription drugs, another Band-Aid, another Band-Aid, another Band-Aid, and all of a sudden you got 7 prescription drugs, and you can't fight it with fresh fruits and vegetables because the government doesn't want you to. The couple has been fighting against the village of Miami Shores, which I believe is kind of like an HOA, it's like a neighborhood, and their outrageous ordinance ever since. Along with help from the Institute of Justice, a nonprofit law firm, it says this decision gives governments tremendous leeway to regulate harmless activities in the name of aesthetics. It gives government the power to prohibit homeowners from growing plants in their front yards simply because they don't intend to eat them. Wait, simply because they intend to eat them. Aesthetics, just like I said, green, red, purple, orange, that's pretty aesthetic to me. That's the colors of the rainbows. You know, because I'm getting into gardening now, and like when Lana and I play with, the garden and stuff, for me, flowers are pretty, and there's a lot of edible flowers. And in fact, I'm learning most vegetables start as a flower. Like a Meyer lemon, that is a flower first, then it turns into a lemon, right? A cucumber is a yellow flower, and then it turns into a cucumber. So aesthetics, you know what I'm saying? It's like they would rather want you to have like a big bush that, you cannot eat versus a bush or fruits and vegetables that you cannot eat. It makes no sense. It's control. It's control. And, the more you open your eyes and the more, you want to take control over your health, right? Your sanity, your mental health, right? The color of your skin, right? Your clarity, right? The way you think, your awareness. They don't want that. They don't want that. And this is like perfect example here. So now the case is going to the Supreme Court, despite the recent ruling by the 3rd District Court of Appeal, which favored Miami Shores absurdity. Ricketts and Carroll are now looking to take their case all the way up to the state of the Florida Supreme Court. Good on them. According to the most recent ruling, Miami Shores has the right to bandish authority over design and landscaping criteria to maintain property values and the enjoyment of property rights by minimizing and reducing conflicts among various land uses, as well as for protecting the look of the village. Well, in my opinion, fruits and vegetable trees are kind of a utopia, and you can eat them. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that, and I'll keep reading. It says, is a well-maintained vegetable garden really an eyesore that would damage property values? I don't think so. So Richard Safran, the attorney for the village of Miami Shores, essentially argued that allowing the couple to keep their front yard garden would somehow pave the way to total, I don't even know that word. Safran complained that the couple's yard was filled with pots that should have been placed in the backyard. What? But yet, had those pots been filled with flowers instead of vegetables are flowers, y'all, the city would have not had no legs to stand, and with the arbitrary complaint. There is no shortage of reasons to object the 3rd District Court's ruling, but perhaps the most inane explanation for this decision was the attempt at rationalizing why it's okay for the government to legislate against edible plants, but not ornamental ones, right? Edible plants are ornamental ones, right? Aesthetics, they're beautiful. In my opinion, every plant is super rad looking, and I'm learning that. I'm learning that even like bugs and insects and spiders and centipedes and locusts and grasshoppers, they're rad little aliens, but they're still aesthetically pleasing. I think we're all beautiful in our own way. So it says there is no shortage of a reason. Oh, so I get that, read that. So what do you all think? Do you live in a neighborhood that has an HOA that does not allow you to grow fruits and vegetables in your front yard? Let me know. I haven't tried that yet, just because in my front yard, the only spot in Lana's front yard is right underneath the shingles, and water would flow there. But the more land you have, in my opinion, from what I'm learning, the more fruits and vegetables you should grow, right? And I'll end it with this. So this was at wisemindhealthbody.com, and thank you for the Rock and Rad Star that tagged me in that, because I wouldn't have saw that. That's what's amazing about our group, Radiculously, Rawthentic. But I guess I'll just end it with this. So, I've been eating my Russian red kale, and I'm learning, like, because it's getting really, really big, and it's kind of rubbing up against our tomatoes. I'm like, okay, so I have to eat this kale, and this is the first fruits and vegetables I've ever grown, my first flowers I've ever grown in my entire life, and I'm just learning. And so, I snapped like 3 of the kales off about a week ago, and then the second time I had it, I snapped 2. And then yesterday I snapped 3 more, and so I've got like 6 more like really large red kale, and it hit me. I'm like, man, it's like, I don't know if I want to continue to eat this, because like I've watched it grow. It's like my baby. I see it, I see it pop up in the morning, right? And then I see it get a little bit damp in the afternoon, the late afternoon, and then I see it rise again when we water at night. So it's like your little baby. And then I only got like 6 more left, and I feel like I'm breaking its legs, or it's like, where is it going? So I'm learning on that. It's like, I'm like connected to my pants. I'm connected to my plants. I want to eat them. That's why I'm growing them. I want to, eat them rather than the yummy nastiness. But I'm going through something that it's like, well, I don't want to eat them all, because then that plant's not going to be no more. So I'm learning how to prune them. You prune them, and then they'll grow back, quicker and stuff like that. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you. Keep your eyes open. Be aware of the laws. Be aware. Just raise your awareness. Create healthy habits. Know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Open your eyes. All right, y'all. So anyways, thank you for joining me. Hello, Linda. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Cindy. So I'm going to plant, I want to plant 2 more gardens, but we're going to get some quotes. We're going to get an electrician out here. We're going to get a cement person out here. We're going to get a drywaller out here, a carpenter out here. So I want to make sure that, it's designed really well for Lana. But I want to do 2 more gardens and an above garden. I'll show you my garden right now. It's raining. Y'all check it out. Here, let's flip this around. See? Now, if the government told me, look, this is the Rock and Rad Star. This is our mascot flower. Does anybody know what this is? Look how beautiful this is. Now, look at that. This is edible. This is aesthetically amazing, right? If I had this in my front yard and the HOA told me that I couldn't have that, I'd be a little bit upset, right? Let's see, I want to get a nice little, look at that. Does anybody know what that is? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? So here's the garden at night, and what I've learned at night, look at this. And we just got a fresh rain. There's nothing more, look at that. It looks like a stock photo. There's nothing more delicious, right, than a fresh rain rinsed. You don't have to wash them. You know it wasn't chemically sprayed. You planted it. You tended to it. You put love into it, right? You know they're gonna be delicious. You know where your food's coming from, right? Look at that. Look at that. This is now here's my Russian red kale. Do you see how I don't have that much left? It's like I don't have that much left. But look at that. Don't you want to eat that? Don't you want to massage that kale? Don't you want to put that in your body? Don't you want to put that in your juicer? And then the government to ninja flip into your bizwax, into your business, and say, hey, yo, Tommy, you can't do that. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Why don't you go to Piggly Wiggly and go buy some frozen kale that's been sprayed with a bunch of GMOs? No, thank you. Check this out. Look at this little pepper, y'all. Look at those peppers. I think those are beautiful. Those are aesthetically pleasing, aren't they? What's wrong with that? I can't grow those in my front yard? Why? Because big pharmas, big lobbyists with the government, and they give them kickdowns so we can't grow our food? No way, Jose. If you go drive around when you fill up your car, guess what? Water is more expensive than gas. They want to control the water too, y'all. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me, y'all. Get outside, go get dirty, go plant a garden, and give yourself a hug. I love you. I'll see you soon. What?